guess what I discovered this morning that I'm out of?
Toilet paper?
No. Good guess, but no.
What?
Be having a much like my hands that's covered. No, contacts. Don't have any with me.
Oh, no, are they here? 'Cause I thought you had
Yeah,
some delivered.
I did, and then I just forgot them there. They're definitely at the apartment, just sitting there under my desk.
Well, I have ruined 3 right contacts now.
How do you ruin them? What do you mean ruined?
'Cause, like, there have been 3 times where it's been so difficult to get them in that I've just given up after, like, 15, 20 minutes and then been like, "I guess I'm wearing glasses today."
I think you're trying too hard.
I got them in pretty quickly today, though.
Yeah, I think you're worrying about it, and then you're just blinking so much, it's just throwing it off. Like, just you
No,
busy.
literally putting it up to my eye, I have to be like, "Don't blink, don't blink, don't blink, don't blink, don't blink, don't blink, don't blink."
Yeah, that's why I told you to hold your eyelids so you physically can't blink. And you're like,
But I
"No,
can't
but
put
it's
it in if I hold my
painful."
eyelid.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
But I think I figured it out today.
Today it
And it
all
didn't
clicked together like, "Oh, it
and it
goes in the eye. Oh."
and it didn't hurt or anything. My eyes didn't water crazy. So,
Great. But, yeah, so I'll be wearing, glasses for the next, I guess, week or so until I can come get some.
yeah, sorry, that sucks.
Nah, it's not that big a deal. I can still see.
Well, hello. Welcome back to Mindless Prattle. I feel very ASMR this morning because I have my volume up more than usual so I can hear my voice echoing a lot. I'm like, oh, I think I'd be great at ASMR though.
Would you just do, like, moist things in the microphone? Mm. It's so moist.
No, like when people like, I don't know. I think, I've been using the sleep hypnosis app and I think I'd be really good at something like that, like doing like guided meditations or something. I don't know if I'll actually try it, but I've been thinking about it. I'm like, I think I have a nice voice for that, you know?
You you said you don't know if you'd try it, like it's some, like, super difficult thing instead of just, like,
Okay,
talking softly into a microphone.
I don't know if it's the mental disorders or whatever, but when I like record myself doing things, even like when I just make TikToks for my book, like I feel so awkward. It feels like I'm doing it wrong or someone's watching me. I get really paranoid when I'm like making
You think
content.
someone's watching you while you're making the content for people to watch, and that stresses you out?
Like while I'm recording it though, like it just
Yeah.
I don't know. I get really uncomfortable.
Tell
I'm
me
working through
why
it.
why Google? Why would you do this to me?
What to do?
So, like, there's usually a lot of background noise or, like, people walk by the room and stuff, right? And the microphone picks it up, so in between I'm talking, I just hit spacebar to mute my microphone. Well, a little ad popped up right as I was going to mute, and so I hit spacebar, and Google just took me to another website, and I was like, "Why would spacebar activate this ad that you just gave me?" Like, it does. Thanks, I
I
guess.
think I did that in, Gmail the other day, like, I went in to do something, and then it immediately put me into a website for like, with some ad, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Okay, I haven't seen the new Dune movie, but I've learned things about Dune.
Yes, I have learned things from the Galactic
No,
Overlords as
listen,
well.
listen.
What the hell are you
Like,
talking about?
this might be some spoilers for the new movie, so if you guys haven't seen it, like, I'm
Well,
gonna talk
we
about it.
haven't seen it. Why are you reading about
But
spoilers then?
it's not the
I
movie,
don't
I
want
read about the
spoilers.
book.
Well, I don't want spoilers for either
Okay.
one. Gosh, it just came out like a week and a half ago, girl. What do you
Well, can
mean?
we
Here's
watch
some
it soon? Because
spoilers.
I wanna talk about it because, like
What do you mean you want to talk about it? You haven't seen it either. Why do
because
you want to talk about it? You just read the stuff and got your own spoilers, and now you want to spoil it for other people? Don't do that. That's rude.
'Cause I saw this TikTok and someone was like, "Oh, when you watch the movie Dune and then you're like, 'Oh, sweet, let me read the book.'" And then they're like, oh my god, like, the book is so insane." But okay, well, I'll table it, but I really wanna talk about it next time.
Yeah, that's fine, but, like, it's been out, what, like, a week and a half, maybe, and you're like, "Yeah, yeah, 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 it's fine. I'll talk about some spoilers because I read them online. I haven't even seen the movie yet." Like, what the fu
Okay, sorry, no spoilers
Okay,
then.
whatever. He said, "Have you seen this new movie? Here's some spoilers that I know you haven't seen the movie yet." Like,
The new Dune
okay,
movie's out. It's
thanks.
weird. Go watch it so we can talk about it.
So we got those little jars, with, like, the little what were they, like, little moonshine or
Moonshine.
something in them? Yeah, they're already like, the lids are already starting to rust, and I'm like, "Wow, these are not
Oh,
safe." Yeah, I was like,
just
"Well,
throw
I
them
guess
away, yeah.
I guess food shouldn't go in those," but, like, it's very weird that it like, the alcohol came in it, and then I washed them out, and now they're rusting, and I'm like, "Weird. Why are they
Alcohol, great.
rusting?"
Water, not good.
Yeah, I know, I was like, "That's a very quick time to rust, though," like, 2 days. I'm like, "Hmm."
Yeah, so for those listening, I have this thing for jars. So, like, every time we get something that comes in a jar, like, we'll wash it out and use it. Like, I have a cold brew jar sitting on the counter. I wanna get some flowers to put in it. It's really cute. Um, but dang, they were cute and little.
You have this thing for jars, is that what
I
you
like
said?
jars.
I like jars and tables. I like
I really
storage
do
stuff
like
in
tables.
general.
I
Yay.
like
I don't like storing
decorating.
things, but mhm.
I would like storing things if we had more space to put things.
You need to store things, like, in somewhere else besides, like, random places that you just find to put them. Like, the coffee table is just full of shit right now. Like, it needs to be cleaned out. Like, it's
What do you
ridiculous.
mean?
What do I mean? What do I mean? The whole bottom shelf is just a bunch of random shit thrown on it. Like,
It's not random shit, that's our candy bowl, and
that's
then
a candy bowl, 1,
the
that
cat
shouldn't be
toys.
there. 2, the rest of it is literally just cat toys that cover the entire thing, which 3, I keep telling you to stop buying that many fucking cat toys because D, they always sit on the coffee table and do nothing else.
No, they don't sit in the coffee table, like, I
I
throw
have
them
never
around for the
seen them
cats.
move. No, I see some of them on the floor and the rest of them are always on that fucking table. Like, they've never moved anytime I've been there. But then anytime I come up, suddenly there's different toys that are out on the ground, and I'm like, "Where'd this one come from?" And you're like, "Oh, there was a sale. It was so special. We had to buy them, otherwise somebody else would have." Like, yeah, that's how capitalism works, motherfucker. Like,
I just want
there's a lot of shit on
back to
that
the
table.
basics.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I'll fucking figure it out, whatever, you don't have to see it all the time anyways.
They do have to see it all the time because I get notifications. It's like bleep bleep. There's movement, and I look at the camera, and the entire bottom of the fucking table is just on the camera.
I don't I don't know, so, like, it doesn't show me the videos anymore. Did you change the settings or something?
I don't know. I'll have to look at it.
Yeah, cause like, it doesn't notify me about anything, and I'm like, "Dang, if somebody actually breaks in, I'm just gonna be like."
If someone breaks in and you're waiting for a notification on your phone to tell you that there's somebody breaking in, you're already a problem. Like,
Well, what if I'm asleep and can't hear them?
what do you mean? How are you gonna hear the notification on your phone, but not them breaking in?
Because it, like, vibrates and sends me a notification because you made sure
Yeah,
I
and
put
the
it on.
door being kicked in wouldn't?
Well, what if they're not kicking it in? What if they just, like, gently pick the lock or, like, hack it or something? I don't know.
And you think that you're gonna wake up. You get notifications all the time. Unless it's a phone call, you do not wake up. What the hell are you talking about?
Can we talk about something less annoying than this?
What do you mean less annoying? I'm telling you
'Cause
the
I
truth
feel like
about
you're
you.
bullying me.
I'm telling
Huh?
you, if you're not gonna hear them breaking in, you're not gonna hear a 1 second "pink" on your phone in the middle of the night. Like, it's not gonna happen. Just sleep with a sword, you'll be fine.
I mean, it's nearby, and then so are several other weapons.
It's nearby. Just
Like, I
grab
got
the sword and
options.
start swinging it. Ah. Like, you
Like, do I
barely
want
wake up
sword
from
number
the
1 or
cats
sword
running
number
around.
2? No, I wake up so much, oh my god. Last night was fun too. Oh my god, the storm, I don't know if it was, like, the one you experienced the other day, because like, we've had so much different rain happening, but I woke up in the middle of the night because like, the lightning was flashing so intensely, and then the thunder was so loud. Me and the cats just sat up and were, like, staring out the door for a while because I had left the door cracked last night because it was cool and it felt nice, and it was just, like, raining lightly, and I was like, "Oh, nice." And then I woke up and I was like, "Oh my god, I feel like like a primal fear from this
You
storm right
you
now." Like,
you were like, "Oh, is this nice weather?" And then you didn't look ahead at the weather.
and yeah, it was an intense thunderstorm, like,
Why didn't
cats
you
were, like,
close the
cuddling close
blind?
to me.
You're like, "The lightning is getting in here. The light will hit me." Just close the
'Cause the
blinds.
blinds were halfway closed. That's how bright it was, like, flashing that much.
Okay, halfway closed and all the way closed are very different things, girl. Like, what do you mean? They're halfway closed. I don't know how light got into this giant window. It's a
But
window. That's how it got in.
so I just stayed up a little bit and then went back to sleep, but I was like, "Jesus Christ, I was not expecting this tonight."
Yeah, if only someone invented like a weather app or a weather channel or a notification
Did I just
thing.
did I send you that TikTok about the weather thing just now before we
You
started?
mean like 5 minutes ago? Yes, you did send it to me. What how
Were you
did
able to
you
watch
already
it?
forget?
'Cause
I
I
laughed
watched it
at
in a
it. I even
conversation.
responded to it. What do you
'Cause I there
I
were
don't know why I
listen, shut
respond to
up,
any of your
hold on, shut
messages.
up, shut up.
Why are you
I
so angry right now?
because I was gonna say there were several TikToks I was thinking about sending you, and I didn't know which one I actually sent it to you.
So you can't keep track of the things that you send to me or the responses that I give to you, and that's suddenly you being mad at me about it? Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes me feel fucking welcome and appreciated in this relationship. I
You
don't remember
make
that you responded or what I sent you, but fuck you. All right, well,
you make
thanks.
me feel so guilty for having a terrible memory, and then I get defensive, and I'm sorry.
Like, I just texted you about this, and you're like, "Shut up! Don't talk to me about that. I'm talking now." I'm like, "Yeah, about the thing that I'm talking about. Okay."
Sorry, it's a shame. Okay, random topic change, but have did you see, the Palworld
No.
developers fucking hate you. You see what I have to put up with, audience?
Hey, did you see that the Power World developers,
The Palworld developers put out, like, a commentary that basically they're so successful from Palworld that they don't know what to do with it, like, they are not prepared for the level of success that they have seen.
Oh, yeah, I feel like a decent amount of games do that too nowadays. Like, what was it? Stardew Valley, um, Sunhaven's getting was pretty
Listen,
popular, like
Stardew Valley
yeah.
just got a new update as well. My friend was really excited about it at work. It just got a new update. Concerned Ape works so fucking hard, man. Like every time I think about what he did with Stardew Valley, like he created that whole game from scratch. And I think he has just a few more people helping him now, but like he does everything, the
Mm,
coding and the designing and the music. And like he learned all about game design just to make Stardew Valley. And now it's like one of the most beloved games of all time. Like I think that's so cool.
if you if you wanna talk about random success, Minecraft was created by a high school dropout who now is one of the richest game developers in the world.
Okay, that sounds cool when you say stuff like that, but then there's also, like, people will be like, "Well, Bill Gates started this in his garage and stuff," and then, like, you look up the stories and it's like, "Oh, his family was super rich and let him live with them, like, rent free and
Well, yeah, but
took
I
his
don't think
company."
it took, like, millions of dollars for him to code blocks of grass and dirt into a game.
Listen,
There's
I
2
love
very different
Minecraft.
things. It's 2 very different things to start an entire technology company that's owns, like, half the world now and creating placing blocks in a world. Like, that's very different things.
I
Like,
think
"What are these
Minecraft is a
cubes?
better contribution.
What are these cubes?" The
Listen,
children yearn for the mines. That's what
that's basically it. Oh gosh, I love video games. They make life so much better.
Did you see, Sunhaven's getting another update with some more romanceable characters for you? And they're like
For me.
water yeah, you're the one that plays it for that. They're like water creatures. I can't remember what their name
A nymph?
mhm, sure. I meant like the names of the characters, not their species, because I don't classify things like that, but whatever. Yeah, racist, that's fine, okay, whatever.
Well, you said water creatures, so I didn't know if you were trying to remember, like, if it was, like, a mermaid or something.
No, I was trying to remember their name. I would have remembered the name mermaid, like, it's not that crazy of a thing. What are they? What's this thing with the
Name me.
tail? Are you a fish man? Like,
No, I'm a fish woman.
mhm. And that was it. Thanks for,
I
coming
thought you
in
were gonna keep
today.
talking
That's,
for a minute.
what do you mean you thought I was gonna keep talking? You know, it's half of your job too is to talk.
Okay, so I know you you're not really much into mobile phone games, but I like the dressed up games and stuff.
You're, like, giving your money and info to China, I know.
There's like Love Nikki Dress Up. That one actually they created like an even bigger one for PlayStation 4 that wasn't really popular. But I've been playing this one called Life Makeover, and oh my god, it is so fun. Like it's 3D, you can have a
What
house.
exactly do you do in this game? Is it just the mobile version of The Sims, but with more clothing
No.
options?
So it's like, kind of a combination between, like, what are they called when you, like, read in a game? Like a text-based adventure kinda thing.
Read in a game? What?
You know, like Doki Doki Literature Club where it's
I
like
do
oh, like
not know. What?
a visual
Wha
novel. And so
what?
it's like part visual novel and then, part RPG, basically.
What is the role playing? What are you doing? What are you playing as?
So you make your own character, and then, in this one, honestly, I haven't paid as much attention to the story. I've been skipping through it and just making clothes and stuff. But this one, it's like you're solving mysteries and like
Okay, so
you meet
the
a
story is
detective.
irrelevant then. We
No,
don't
the
care
story's
about the
not
story.
irrelevant. You
Well, you
just it
just said
gives you
you've been skipping through it, so obviously it's not important. You're only playing this game for the putting clothes on fake people aspect of it, yes?
well, sometimes I watch the story. It just depends on the mood I'm in. If I'm
Yeah,
playing
right.
quickly well, because it's a lot
Like
of
that
reading, so
hesitation in your voice when you were like, oh, it's a lot of
uh
reading." You don't get to bullshit me with "It's a lot of reading." I know exactly how much
well, if
fucking
you'd let me
reading you
finish my
do.
thought, then I would tell you it's a lot of reading, so if I'm playing really quick on, like, a break at work and I wanna get through a lot of levels or something, I'll just skip the dialogue and then just do, like, the level part.
Uh-huh, sure, sure, but if you have a good book, you'll read the good book during your break, only if you get a few pages because it's a 10-minute break. So my conclusion is you don't care about the story even though there's a lot of reading.
No, because they limit how quickly I can read in this. Like, in a book, I can read as
Well,
fast as I
then how
want.
how are you skipping through it if they're limiting you to how quickly you
Because
can read?
you can either do it in, like, you can either read it as it comes up, or you can read, like, 3 lines and then skip.
So what, like the whole section of dialogue, is that what you're
Yeah.
saying? Oh
So,
my
like,
gosh, so you were
and
just
so
impatient and don't wanna play the
well, no,
story.
like, other games, they have, like, a speed up option because the dialogue is slow. I read really quickly. I'm not gonna fucking wait for it to catch up to when I read it, like, a whole minute ago.
So
Um,
you're saying the story's not good enough to be patient for.
it's a good story.
Wow,
I'm
how
more
would you
here for
know?
the
You
dress up
skipped
right
most
now.
of it.
The point is, it's really fun, and I like it because
Well,
like,
I'm sure it is really fun, but you can't tell me it's got a good story if you don't know what the story is.
it's got a good story for those who are interested.
Wait, what is the story? That was my base question. What is the story?
And then you kept interrupting me when I was trying to explain. It's
You
like
haven't
you
explained anything about the story. You
because
keep
you kept
telling me that you
interrupting
keep
me.
skipping the story.
So, it's about, like, you're solving mysteries and, like, you meet a detective and you make allies and people keep getting, like, murdered or, like, attacked and things are happening and you have to solve who's doing it, and then you use fashion to, like, blend into the different environments that you're investigating.
You use fashion to blend in. Are
It's
you
like you're a
dressing up as a
spy.
factory worker in a factory? What do you mean you're dressing up? What are you dressing up in?
No, like, it'll be like you need casual, like, business wear for this level, so you design, like, a business outfit, or, like, you need to be, like, sporty and sunny, or you need to wear, like, swimwear because 'cause you're at the beach, like, it'll give you different scenarios.
So you're just playing dress up in random locations and spying on people.
It's not just, it's fun.
I love it. I love it. You're like, as long as there's a crime where I get a cute outfit, I'm there.
It's
Like,
fun, which is
I'm
ultimately
not saying
what
it's
a
not
game should be.
fun.
I know, I just like I said, I feel like you're hardcore judging me right now, it's making me a little bit
No, I'm
offensive.
judging this game because you don't know what the story is other than we go places where crimes are committed, but only if you can wear a cute outfit there.
Listen, you should play it then.
I'm not gonna play it. I do not have the patience to read quickly or slowly. Like, it's I'm not
Yes,
gonna do that.
and it's like you can, like, compete in fashion competitions as, like, side things. Like, there's a bunch of other functions, like, they always have so much
Oh,
going
the
on in these games.
detective thing is the side mission. Alright. The
No, that's,
main
like, the
point
main
is, like, I'm
story.
gonna go win this fashion competition.
It's, like, the main story. This one I like because in the other one I played, like, you just got to dress your character up and then do verses, but in this one, you can go and, like, select your friends or people in your guild and stuff, and you can use their closet and dress them up for different scenarios. So, like, it's not just you, like, you have to work with what other people have, and I think
"Come
that's
on,
cool.
quick, we're going to the beach. Put on this fucking swimsuit." "What?
God, I
We're
fucking hate you.
detectives." "No, put on the swimsuit now. We're going." Don't forget the sunscreen. We have to catch a murderer today.
But, like, my chick has elf ears and purple eyes, and
I like the
let
fact
me send you let me send
that,
you my outfit. Let me text you
no,
my outfit.
I've seen the picture. I like
No,
the
it's a new
fact
one.
that good. I like the fact that in this world, detectives are somehow, like, more efficient if they're dressed as the people around them, you know? Like, if someone came up to you at the beach, and you were in a bikini, and they were also in a bikini, and they were just like, "Ha, ha, 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 did you see that guy get stabbed?" I'd be more afraid than I would be cooperative. If someone walked up to me in, like, business attire, and they were like, "Hey, I'm Detective so and so. Did you see that guy get stabbed?" I'd be like, "Oh, let me talk to this guy." Like, there's no
Well, like, I'm not explaining
why
all of
would
it 'cause
I
there's a bunch of other characters, like, you can just collect so many of them. So right now I have, like, 5 allies, and they all do different things.
Why
Like,
should
there's
I
this little
yeah,
cat
but
guy, and the
still, like,
elegant
what
guy, and the detective
like
lady.
like, unless you're, like, infiltrating a friend group and, like, listening in on their conversations, like, why would I ever just talk to some random person in a fucking swimsuit at the beach about a murder? Like, especially if I was the one who murdered them, you know? Like,
Yeah, it's not meant to be logical, it's just meant to be fun. Listen, I will say, like, America should capitalize on these types of games because, like, the money that China is making from these dress up games because there's just
What do
nothing
you mean
like
we should capitalize on these types of games? Are you paying money for these dress up games?
no, it's free, but, it's like,
Exactly. You know
they
what
have
makes
in-app
a lot of
purchases.
money? Candy Crush. Like,
Well,
Candy
I'm
Crush
saying they
is
have
still the
in-app
number 1
purchases.
most selling game on mobile.
I'm saying, like, they have in-app purchases where you can buy extra fashion or, like, things like that. You can
You
also
could
earn it
buy
all in the
extra
game,
fashion.
which is what I like about it is, like, you have the option to spend money if you have it, but there's also ways to earn everything that you could spend money on it. So it's
Yeah,
not like
that's see
a
that
lot.
right there, that's not an American ideology. You can either buy it or you're shit out of luck, kid. Like that those are the 2 options in
Yeah,
America.
'cause, like, every once in a while, I'm like, "Okay," like, I see it like, if I would spend $10 on Sims, I could spend it on that instead, but most of the time, I'm just, like, grinding levels trying to collect diamonds.
I like you're like, "I could spend it on this." I'm like, "Or you could just save it for, like, I don't know, the future." It's crazy. Anyway.
Yeah, and then sometimes I'm like, "Instead of spending $30 on DoorDash, put that in your savings account."
You mean sometimes, that should be the thought every time, unless you're, like, sick or dying, like
Sometimes I am sick and dying.
yeah, once in a while, not every fucking day or every 3 days.
Yeah. But you got anything fun? Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I bought a yo-yo the other day.
I feel like neither of us have very fun weeks anymore, so it's like there's not always fun stories. I did so I like I said, I did get to have that conversation in Spanish with someone while I was getting gas the other day. I was
Play this conversation for me. I wanna
I
hear
was
it.
so awkward. So I entered the store and I knew immediately, like, he was only gonna speak Spanish because like, it was, like, a Spanish
Wow,
gas station.
it was a Spanish what just prejudice you have, alright? Like, I have not met any single person here in the year and a half I've been here that does not speak English, but okay, go on.
Well, so I went in and, all the products were Spanish or Mexican and, they had a lot of Mexican candy and stuff, um, the cashier was speaking in Spanish, everybody else I was speaking in Spanish. I was like, "Okay, whatever. I'll whatever he speaks to whatever language he chooses to speak to me in, that's what I'll respond in."
Bruh.
But I'm pretty white, so I was like, maybe he'll look at me and be like, "Oh, she needs English." So I go up and he's like, "Hola, señorita," and he says a bunch of stuff and, good morning and that, and I'm like, hola." I'm like, "Okay, like, I can do this."
Yeah,
Getting
I
awkward.
can do this.
It's early in the morning too, so I'm like, "Whatever." And then, he, gives me my total, asks me if I want a receipt, and, he asked me how I wanna pay and if I want a receipt, and I said, No." And then, um, we exchanged, 2 basic sentences. I can't remember what. It was just like, "Good morning, have a great day," that sort of stuff. And then he finished the conversation, and I said, "Gracias," and I looked at him and smiled, and then I walked out, and I was like, "Is this how people feel when they have to speak to me in English at work and they, have a different natural tongue?" Like,
Yeah, I'm sure, but they don't walk in there and assume that you don't speak any language. Like, you just walk in and they're like, he's Mexican.
Okay,
Obviously,
well,
he's
there was a
fucking
high
speaking
likelihood that he
Spanish.
spoke mostly Spanish, and he did not say a word in English the entire time.
Because you
There
started in Spanish, yeah,
I didn't
but
start in Spanish, he started in Spanish.
yeah, he's always gonna default to Spanish because we're like you were like less than a mile from Mexico. Of course,
Well,
he's
I
gonna
feel
default to
like
Spanish.
it's respectful to go with the language that the other person starts in.
Respectful, nothing. You're buying stuff from him. Like
Well, anyways, I'm trying
anytime,
to improve my Spanish, so I was quite
it's
proud of
not like
myself.
I'm proud of you too, but it's not like you. I don't like that you're just like, nah, he doesn't speak English. Like, how do you know? He could very well have spoken English.
You are right.
And it is no
That's my
disrespect to
bias, I'm
go.
sorry.
Okay, I don't need you to be defensive over it.
I'm
I'm
not being
just like,
defensive, that's just the truth.
yeah, your tone shifted, but okay. But like what I'm saying, like it's never been disrespectful to be like, do you feel disrespected if you said hello and someone said gracias to you? Do you be like, "Ah, you didn't speak English even though I started speaking English?"
No, but I'm not an asshole.
Exactly. Like, then why do you assume everyone else is then? Like, you assumed it would be disrespectful even though you know you've been on the other side of it and it's not disrespectful. Like, you're
Because I
just
have
speaking
anxiety, Jordan,
your
and I don't think
language.
about it that way.
That's what I'm saying. You're just speaking your language. It's like if you said hello after he said gracias and he said sorry, I don't speak like I don't speak English, then you could be like, "Oh, then you can speak in Spanish." Or whatever, but I wouldn't feel awkward enough to be like, "Oh, he only speaks Spanish."
Yeah. No, pagar is to pay, so, like, that was a phrase I could easily recognize, and cuenta is check.
He's like, "What words in the basic Duolingo section does this white girl know?"
I was
Mm,
actually so I'm actually really
pata.
thankful because Duolingo, they organize it, like, in the order that you're most likely to need it, so they start with, like, the basic stuffs and, like,
Yeah, it
groceries
turns
and
out
food and things like
Biblioteca's not in there. It turns out it's like how to buy things and how to pay for things and like interactions you probably will have if you go to another place where they don't speak English. Yeah.
yeah, though, it does the basic section does have "Donde está el baño?" But every time it pops up, I'm like, "¿Dónde está el biblioteca?" I
Yeah,
can't
and,
help
like, the same thing with the Japanese one, like, the first section's, like, how to order basic foods, and then it's, like,
it.
how to ask for, like, a doctor or lawyer or, like, things like that, and I'm like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yeah, basic things, huh?" Like, we immediately moved to, "I need a lawyer."
Hey, you know what? Japan has a lot of weird little laws and stuff like that, so I bet, like, you need it more often than you think. Like, is it Japan or Korea that I'm thinking of where, like, it's you can't go into a lot of public bathhouses if you have tattoos because they associate them
I
with
have
gangs?
no idea. I've never heard of that, so who knows?
I think it's Japan. Is the Yakuza Japan or China? I don't know.
I have no idea, I couldn't speak on it.
My
Speaking of which,
specialty
though,
was Russian gangs, not
when
Asian.
speaking of which, though, when am I getting my new tattoos?
Well, when do you want? I figured you'd wanna wait a little bit for money reasons.
Huh? No, we have credit cards. It's fine.
No, you said we
I've
can't.
seen your DoorDash account. Obviously, it's fine. And your Sims account. So that's all I'm saying. I'm
Listen, I
gonna
am
get like
doing so much better.
I'm gonna get like a whole thing on my right shoulder, and then I'll have to get like the whole sleeve on the left. So I guess I'll just order DoorDash 2 or 3 more times today, and then it'll be good.
I don't order DoorDash that often. Half the time my friends just buy it for us.
Yeah, when you're at work or something, but I know for sure you getting stuff delivered at home.
Yes, when I am depressed, I do tend to order a lot more DoorDash. I'm trying to think. I had so many stories that I was like, "Oh, I'll talk about this on the podcast. I'll talk about this on the podcast."
Yep.
And
You never write them down, even though you know you have memory problems.
half of them were when I was driving, so I couldn't write them down.
You can use text to speech on your notes app, by the way, just so you're tracking.
How do I activate Notes app when I'm driving?
Same way you activate the fucking you texting me while you're driving. What do you mean? Just
'Cause
click
it's
on it.
not there's not, like, a thing on it in Uplay. No, 'cause my texting you, I just talk, I don't have to click anything. I try not to touch my phone when I'm driving.
Oh my gosh. Do you touch the screen to change the songs or radio or anything? Because it's about the same functionality. You touch
Yeah,
the
but I don't
notes
have to
app.
look.
You don't have to look to touch the screen.
No, because I know where everything is. Like, touching my phone is a lot more difficult.
You know where everything is on your screen on the fucking display?
Mhm.
What do you mean, "Mhm"?
Or I can glance at it for a second and look back up to the
Right.
road, you know? But,
You
like,
had it for a
I
second, and you thank you. Thank you
I
for
just
that.
don't I
I know
don't
you
look
do
at
not.
my phone while I'm driving. It's
But you look at a
dangerous.
different screen that's right next to it is my point. Like, you can easily look at your phone, click it, and look back up in the same amount of time that you can look at the screen, click next song, and look back up. It's the same
No,
functionality.
you judge me a lot for the way I do things.
I'm not judging you for it. I'm pointing it out that, yes, you do look at a screen
I
and
mean,
tap
your
on the
tone is
screen.
pretty judgmental, I'm just saying.
It's not judgmental. I'm telling you what the reality is, and you're telling me that the reality is wrong.
For me, it's different.
For you, it's different to look at a screen and tap something or look at a screen and tap something. I
Because looking at
understand.
my phone, I have to look down and it's different. I don't do it.
You have to look down. Hold your phone up. Put your phone on a
No,
little
because
mount.
then if there's a cop or something, they're gonna see me.
So put your phone on a little mount next to your fucking screen on your car.
There's not, like, a great place to mount my phone, though.
Oh, so now we're running into the actual root of cause of problems. You don't have anywhere to put the phone. It's not that you wouldn't be able to touch the phone.
I just I don't I can wait. I'll just use my little
I
techie.
can wait. Clearly, you can't because you don't have the stories. Remember? Remember, we're circling back around to the first part where
Well,
you
half the
have these
time,
thoughts and
like,
then
you
don't
do this
remember.
weird thing where you just, like, talk at me, and then I forget how my stories anyways. Because 'cause I'm like, "Damn, you're hella judgmental right now."
You are the one that said, I don't remember these stories. I did not pressure you into coming up with stories. I did not talk at you to come up with stories. I sat here and waited, and you said, damn, I had so many stories, and then I forgot them all. That is what you
Yeah,
said.
and I think you're teasing me, but it just, like, it makes it harder to remember because it just feels like you're like, "Oh, you didn't do this, and you didn't do this," you know?
I'm not asking you to remember right now. I'm telling you a way that you could potentially remember in the future. I'm not saying, hey, you should do this
By
right
doing
now. That way
something
you
that could
remember it.
potentially be dangerous.
Driving is dangerous. Just fucking walk everywhere. Take the bus. It's safer. Like, what do you mean? Why?
Country's
You're
too
gonna
big for
mitigate
that.
risks, like mitigate all the risks. Why are you mitigating the one risk that you have control of? Like
Yeah, but that risk is highly illegal.
that risk is highly illegal. Uh-huh.
Am I the only
Not
one who doesn't
mildly
use their phone
illegal.
while they're driving?
Use your phone, girl. Like I'm telling you right now, if you put your phone up on a little mount and you tap a button that says talk on your notes app, it is no different than looking over and tapping a button on your radio. Like it is the same
Well,
amount of time, functionality, brain power that you devote to doing that. If you're uncomfortable with the phone, you should be uncomfortable with doing that on your radio too, but you're not. That's what my point is.
maybe I'll look into it.
I think you should. That's what that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Listen,
Look into putting your phone
I
up there
just
so you can
wish
make
you
notes
could
while you're
tell me
driving.
in a little bit nicer way.
Uh-huh. And I just wish this isn't the third time I've had to tell you all this, but it is.
Well, I'm sorry. My
Yeah, I
brain is
know, you
doing the
didn't
best
take
it
notes on it,
can.
which is why I keep telling you to take notes with your brain so that you can just look back and remember. Because remember our earlier conversation where you were like, I like reading. Remember that part? If you write stuff down, you can read it later. It's like a double whammy. You'll remember stuff and you get to read. I'm just looking out for your hobbies, really.
Sure, sure you are. I just wanna jump into, like, a giant foam pit or, like, a giant bean bag or something and, like,
As
lay
long as
down
it's
all
not at like
day.
TwitchCon, then you're fine.
Oh my god, I forgot all about that. There's people, like, breaking their arms and shit.
Yeah, one lady like broke her tailbone because she jumped in after the she won that fight. It
Yeah.
was bad. They were like, "Yeah, we have it. It's like 3 feet deep." You're like, 3 feet of foam to break like a 200-pound human's like fall? Like, what are you
Yeah, it's
talking
like
about?
it's not like they're toddlers. You need a little bit more cushion.
I'm like, do you see when people like jump on foam pits and they go all the way into the foam? It's because it's a pit. Like,
I like foam pits, though, like, I just think they're so relaxing.
I like foam pits better than ball pits. I'm gonna throw it out there.
Ball pits are so uncomfortable, and they're probably much dirtier.
They're not uncomfortable. I just feel like they're dirtier, even though the foam probably traps more like bacteria. I just feel like the balls are dirtier for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I agree. The ball's a lot dirtier.
But then again, you could probably in the foam pit and nobody would notice, but the ball pit, people would probably notice pretty quick.
You could do what? Your voice cut out whenever you said that.
Hmm?
What could you do?
What do you think I said?
I don't know, and I don't wanna guess.
You're gonna have to.
Pee?
You're gonna pee in there? Okay.
No, I just didn't hear what you said, so I'm like,
I like nope, nope, nope. The default answer is pee now. You can pee in a foam pit, but not in a ball pit. That's what Ripley's saying.
it's probably easier to clean up in a ball pit.
I feel like it's easier to clean up in a foam pit. You just pick out the, like, soaked up foam and you're like, "Oh, these ones are wet." Like,
But,
get
like,
rid of
it
them.
would soak down to the bottom, so, like, you'd have to keep digging, and then you'd just be digging in this soaked foam.
Yeah, but, like, if you piss on the balls, it's gonna be on the outside of the balls, so
Yeah,
then
but you could
any
just
ball you
spray them
touch.
down with, like, water, you know?
And where's the water gonna go? There's not a drainage at the
They
bottom
probably
of the
have a
ball pit.
drain. I
There's
assume
no
do you think they
drain.
ever clean
Oh my
those things?
gosh, no. Have you ever seen the
They
bottom
definitely
of a
don't.
ball pit? There's just, like,
No, I don't want
trash
to.
and debr like, dead things, like, ugh.
The 16-year-old monitoring the ball pit certainly is not gonna do that.
The what?
The 16-year-old monitoring the ball pit's probably not gonna do that, no.
That's what I'm saying, like, they're not you're gonna take every ball out by hand, and you don't know which ones have pee on them till you touch them. That's all I'm saying. But, like, the foam, you could just scoop up, like, that foam, and you'd be like, "Ooh, those ones are wet. Go throw those foam away, get some new foam," you know? I feel like it'd be the mess would
Mhm.
be more contained with your pee foam.
I don't want to do that as much as I thought I did.
Pee in the foam
Okay,
pit.
this is random. Ugh, hold on, I gotta stretch.
Alright, good talk.
Oh,
Let's get
sorry.
back next week after you're done stretching. Sorry to interrupt your morning routine.
So I put this Amazon box in the hallway for the cats to enjoy, but Chipmunk just keeps, like, standing up in the box and, like, staring into the darkness, and I'm like, "She looks like a little homeless cat." It's kind of funny. She likes this box so much, it's ridiculous, like, I'll have to post a TikTok later or something.
Of your homeless cat. I
Alms
keep
for the
getting
poor.
these YouTube videos of a guy playing Cards Against Humanity with his cat, and I just think they're super funny. I don't
Oh
know if
my
you've seen those.
god.
Have you
I
seen them?
have not in a long time, though.
So, like, he puts down, like, 5 or 6, like, white cards face down on the ground, and he reads a black card, and then the cat will just, like, smack one of the white cards, and he's like, "Oh, okay," and it picks it up, and he's just like, "Wow, that's the worst card you, could have picked. That's horrifying." And then it just cuts off, and that's the end of the video, and you're like, "What?"
I bet our cats would get a kick out of that.
I don't think they'd sit still long enough for that. I don't think you're gonna have success with that.
Especially Sweet Roll, oh my god. Like, sometimes, like, me and Chipmunk will just be chilling, and Sweet Roll will come over and start doing their thing, and both me and Chipmunk look at each other like, "This bitch again."
Hey,
Like,
she just wants to play. 'Cause
I
you
know
guys
she
don't
does.
love her enough, apparently.
Chipmunk Chipmunk will be like, "Ugh." She plays a lot, actually. She gets to play more than Chipmunk, like, 'cause she's so much more aggressive, you know, about the way she plays.
Yeah.
Like, Chipmunk needs to warm up a little bit, like, she wants to be teased a little bit, like, with the toy, she wants to watch it stare at the little mouse for a
Are you
while.
turning around to, like, look at them?
No,
That
I just
sounds like you're getting
paused.
further away. That's what I'm
I
like.
just paused in the middle of speaking because I needed to gather my thoughts. But she wants to, like, stare at the toy and, like, pretend like she's actually hunting a mouse or something, you know? Not Sweet Roll. Sweet Roll just attacks immediately. I'll pick up the toy and immediately she's jumping on it. I'm like, "Shit, I haven't even started yet, girl." Like, patient.
Uh-huh. And then you're like, "Oh, yeah, I played with them for hours today, and they still wanted fucking more attention." And then I watched, like, a video of you playing with them, and it's you reading on your phone while you're throwing something back and forth. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, looks like a lot of hard work you're doing over there."
We'll do, like, the high intensity exercise for, like, 10 minutes, and, like, that's supposed to be
High
enough.
Okay, hold on.
It's
Are you
not enough.
measuring their heart rate? What do you mean high intensity
Like,
exercise? What the hell
exercise
are
where
you
they're
talking
running
about?
back and forth over a long distance or, like, they're,
A
actively
long
doing something
distance? Are
physically.
you taking them on a treadmill?
No, oh my god. Like they'll run around the whole apartment, like, I'll make that's part of why I got the long toy because I can flip it far over and, like, there's more distance before they can reach it. Um, but Sweet roll's just a little bit harder to entertain.
My question was just what is high intensity exercise for the cat because they look the same no matter what they're doing, and I definitely have never seen them like breathing heavy. So
It's actually a really bad sign if your cats are heavily breathing.
that's what I'm saying. What do you mean you're giving them heavy
But, like,
exercise?
where they're actually running around instead of just, like, like, sometimes they'll lay down or flop down and play with the toy, like, exercise where they have to go like, they have to run a little bit.
Yeah,
Chipmunk
that
really likes it
you
when I throw
flip
toys
the
around the
toy back
apartment.
and forth and you sit on your phone. Like, I've watched it and that's the high intensity part. You're like, "Oh, yeah, they're going back and forth now."
That's not all I do.
I didn't say it was all you do, but you can't tell me that you've been playing with them for hours and it was so exhausting.
I just mean, like, after, like, 10, 20 minutes of, like, active playtime, I just sit down and start reading because 'cause I'm like, "Okay, we're gonna be here for a while."
I don't believe that.
Or sometimes I'll play with them in the bedroom while I, like, watch Netflix or something, like, I'll put on a movie and then play with them with the other hand. What?
So it almost never takes up your full is what we're getting at here. Like, it's never your main focus. It's,
Listen,
but it's
I'm
always
struggle
presented
bussin'.
that way.
Okay, have you been having stress dreams?
Oh,
Stress nightmares?
what? What the hell are you talking
Anything,
about? What does that
just in
mean?
general.
Like what?
Like, I keep having wedding nightmares.
Yeah, it does sound like a nightmare to marry me.
No, that's not the part that's giving me like, I had a dream I shaved off half my eyebrow, but just one. So, like, my left eyebrow was half gone and the other one was fine.
Was that the end? It was so what?
I just well, no, because I
Okay.
can only remember bits and pieces of my dreams. Um,
Like, oh no, what will we do?
but usually, like, they're like it seems to revolve around, like, people taking away my choices and, like, doing things I don't want.
Oh yeah, but
So
when I tell you to make a decision, I'm the bad guy. Okay.
no, you're not. I just I get overstimulated sometimes and, like, I need a break, and then, like, I try to express that to you, and, like, you don't understand, and I'm, like, having a full meltdown already, and I'm like, "Listen, I need a second."
You need a full break. The last meltdown you had, we bought a bunch of stuff for the honeymoon, and then I asked you a question. You're like, "We've already done so much today," and I'm like, "We've discussed things for like 30 minutes about the honeymoon. Like we
We're on the
had barely
phone for
done
nearly
anything."
2 hours.
Yeah, and most of that was you freaking out over me asking you questions.
Well,
And I'm like,
I realized
"Okay,
part of that
cool,
was
but
because the night before, I didn't think about it, but when we were drinking and stuff, and I didn't take my medication.
that's on you." But like I
Yeah, I would
said,
say
you're like,
driving
"Oh,
back
I've
from
had
dating
some
you was
it's like
rough.
that."
I don't know, I'm just so tired. I don't know, I feel like the whole world feels like this right now, but I'm just so tired.
The whole world's tired, yeah. So I spoke to that guy in Spanish so he wouldn't have to put in extra effort.
Listen, I feel like a lot of people don't make an effort to do that, you know?
I didn't say it was a bad thing. I applaud you for making the effort to speak to him in Spanish. If he only speaks Spanish and you can speak enough Spanish to have a conversation, good on you. But the issue I had was you walking in and just looking at him going, he only speaks Spanish. Like, okay.
I observed the information I had and was pretty sure he spoke mostly Spanish.
You made a biased decision based on his looks and surroundings. Yes, I'm aware.
I mean, yeah, everything in the store was, like, Mexican, like, it was
Yes, you were right next to the border.
well,
What do
that's what
you
I'm saying, like, he
mean?
probably spoke mostly Spanish, like, I'm not s
He
like,
probably
my
spoke
guess is a
mostly
little bit
Spanish, yes, but you originally said he only spoke Spanish based on his appearances.
well, I misspoke, I never said anything about his appearances.
Yes, you did. You said
No, I
he looked
didn't.
yes, you did. You said he was Mexican and everything in the store was Mexican or Spanish. That's what you said.
I don't believe I did, but
Okay,
we can listen back later.
okay.
You give me headaches.
You're giving that guy headaches. I'm gonna go find him. Excuse me, do you speak English? I need to record a conversation we having in
Shut the fuck up.
English. I don't even know why you went to that random gas station. Like, it's not a good gas station to go to.
It's not?
Not really, no.
Oh. Gas down there is much more expensive than it is here.
That would be why it's not the right one to go to, because the ones that have most everything in Spanish have higher prices because people coming from Mexico are more comfortable going to them, but they get charged more. Like,
Oh,
see
well,
the
I just went 'cause it
correlation?
said it was the closest one.
Yeah, no, you definitely should have just asked. I would have pointed you to where to go.
I know. I tried. I did my best.
I know you did. Proud that you made it through safely of that dangerous encounter, but
My anxiety knows no bounds.
uh-huh. You're like, "It's so anxious being down here." But like, "Yeah, you made a weird decision." You're like, "What?"
Have you okay, so this topic change, but have you seen, like, people
You don't have
that
to announce
trend
it. You can just say what you want.
have you seen that trend where it's like, "Oh, things I think would make cute baby names if they didn't mean what they mean?" And it's like, one of them was, like, malaria.
Malaria, why would that be a cute baby name?
Like, it's, like, words that sound nice, but
No,
because of what
mm.
they actually mean, it's like,
Did you I saw an article, the other day. I think it was a post on Reddit. It was a
Mhm.
screenshot from Facebook, and it was like this mom posting on Facebook. She's like, "I don't know what to do. I really like naming all my kids like traditional biblical names, but they're getting made fun of in class." And she named like her kids like Shem and like Methiocla or something like that. And I was like,
What?
well, of course they're gonna get made fun of. She's like, but they're strong biblical names. I'm like, yeah, but you gave them to a child,
It's
and
also it's like,
the
there's so
child
many
will
biblical
be made
names you
fun
could
of.
go with, like, you could go with Joseph,
No, they were. She was going with the
Old Testament or some shit.
no. It was one all of the like ancestors of one specific like person in the Bible. I can't remember who it was, but she picked all the
That was a
names
poor
of like
choice.
all the relatives of this one specific person in the Bible, and I was like, that's cool and all, but like,
Or even,
of course they're gonna get
Adam.
made fun of.
Adam would be a great name.
Adam is a good name, like, but no, she picked those names, and people were like, you pick those names and not think that your kids would get made fun of? Like you can't pick like names that were strong at the time and then expect them to still be like strong, confident names now. Like
Well,
it changes with the
it's
times, you
also
know?
it's like it depends on degree. Like, there's old-fashioned names, like, I love the name Ophelia. Like, I
Yeah,
consider it
and
a beautiful name.
there's some that you can get away
People
with, but
know
not like
that
Shem.
from
Like,
Shakespeare,
right,
but, like, yeah, Shem, what is that? It sounds
Shem.
like a Jewish holiday celebration or
Yeah,
something.
and well, and then they updated it, and she posted, like, their middle names, and their middle names were not better. It was
Oh, no.
yeah, like, because people were like, "Why don't they just go by their middle names at school?" And she's like, "Oh, okay," and she posted all the middle names, and they were equally as bad, and I was like, "Ooh, never mind, can't do that." Can't do it. But it's like the same thing as like you could name people you could use older names, but you can't be like, "Oh yeah, this is what like you can't pick like an old Greek name and then expect it to have the same meaning and like respect and whatnot nowadays as it would have back then. You know, like it was a strong, proud name of a warrior and that he did so many great things. And you're like, he may have when he
Yeah,
made the name for himself,
and it's
but
like, even if it sounds good, like, if you name your kid something like Beowulf, they're still gonna be made fun of, probably.
yeah, like, there's I don't know, that's why I was like, "Dude, you can't get away with some of those."
But
Like,
you
I
know
don't
what? Anything is better than the, like, Blockland and McKaylee with, like, the 60,000
oh,
different
the different
spellings
letters
that's
or,
popular right
what was
now.
it? Absidy that got made fun of, is just ABCDE, and you're like, "Absidy, huh? That's cool." Or, Ladasha is another one.
Yeah. Did you know in some countries you can only pick from, like, a pre-approved register of baby names, and if you want to, like, name them something different, you have to submit, like, an appeal?
I think that's a great option, for a lot of countries. I don't know that it would work here, but I I think it should go through, like, a process, you know? Like you know what you should do? It shouldn't be up to adults to name that, right? You should give the name, right? Put it on a piece of paper and then just give it to like a middle school class. And then just be like, "Hey, this is the new student. The new student that'll be joining us is named blah blah blah," right? And you give them the name and you just see how the students react. And if they all like start laughing, it's not a good name.
I have
That's
an
it.
quicker way too. If you have a name that you wanna use for a child, go to a Starbucks or your local coffee shop, order and give them the name of the child, and see what they come up with. If
Yeah,
they can get
see
it
if they can
close or
attempt to
whatever,
spell it or pronounce it
you're
or
good.
anything, yeah.
And that doesn't go for cultural names, like, I have a lot of, like, Indian customers and stuff like that, and I take great pains to, like, learn how to say their names.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, but, like,
but for
saying
kids
it
like
and learning it,
English,
I think it's different.
mm,
If you're wanting just to determine if people will be able to say it and know what it is, go to the Starbucks. If you wanna know if your child will get bullied in school, go to the middle school and ask.
these ideas brought to you by Jordan and Ripley.
Mhm. Now, that being said, don't just walk up to any random middle school. First, you gotta get, like, a kid in there, right? You gotta have a reason to be there, otherwise, it's just creepy. Now, second
Well, I mean,
or
you
third
can't even just go into them. Like,
yeah, I
most middle
know.
schools have, like, gates and things that you have to
Would
walk
you
through,
let me
obviously.
finish? Let me finish. And then
Okay,
second of
sorry,
all, if
sorry.
they have gates and you can't get in, even though you have a kid there, just sign up for part-time DoorDash and then hang out near the school. Eventually, you'll get an order from somebody in the school. You just go in there, drop it off. You become friends with them over a little bit of time. And you go, "Hey, my son goes to school here. You mind if I go say hi real quick?" And then you go in and you're like, "Hey, does anybody know if this kid's here?" And then they'll all laugh at that name, and you're like, "Not a good name. Got it." And then you walk out. That's how that works.
Nice. Mm, wow, I'm hungry.
I yeah, I need to get some food or something. I don't have any. So I've been working just every day for the past who knows how long, right? And
Stop.
I'm just kind of hoping I don't get called in today. But what is it? I bought Helldivers 2 like 4 days ago. Still have not been able to play because I've just been so busy with work and other shit. I'm like, God damn it. And like all my coworkers and stuff down here keep texting me like, "Did you get a chance to play it?" I'm like, no, I'm still fucking working. Like,
Yeah,
I hate
so
it.
what is the game? I keep seeing it, like, on social media and stuff, but I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, it's democracy.
Oh, okay.
What?
That's it?
Oh, does it feel like one of your descriptions? All right. So we, we basically the game's about conquering other planets and eliminating the bugs and the robots that live on them in the name of
Capitalism, the
democracy,
game?
right? No, it's in the name of democracy, right? So you literally just
Yes, genocide is
you
always fine in the name of democracy.
yes. And, so you're you're part of the Helldivers. You jump on different, like, planets, and you basically just exterminate anything that moves that isn't people. And then you liberate the planets, as they call it, and that's it. That's the whole game. It's just like swarms of enemies, then you liberate planets. But they did it differently. So, like, there's no, like, campaign per se. They have a galactic map of, like, all the different planets and they have certain planets that are active. And so like they have like 4 or 5 or like whole planets that you can jump onto, right? And everybody in the world that's playing can jump on these planets and you're all working to liberate like one actual planet. So then when that planet gets liberated, you all go on to the next planet. So it's like a collective like group of people, like of players that are actually like working towards these goals.
Oh, that's either
Yeah.
really good or really bad, huh?
No, it's good. It's a good feature, and like it's been a lot of they've got a lot of positive feedback on it of like, hey, we're actually all like working towards it. And if you join the game, you can see like on the galactic map, you can see all the planets that have already been liberated and the current ones that are going on. And I think one of the things this morning said they still have like 200,000 people on, like usually at any one time, like something like that. I'm like, God dang,
Dang.
you doing pretty well.
God, I wish I had time to play games with my friends, but we all have different schedules.
Yeah.
I haven't really been playing anything, not even, like, Sims and Power World, just this, like, fashion game. Like, I get home from work and I'm so tired, I just go sit on the bed and have a little snacky and play this little fashion game and then go to sleep.
Did I drop out? What just happened?
Oh, were you saying something? Yeah, I didn't hear anything come through.
No, I heard you just said, "I usually go sit on the bed," and then it just stopped, and I was like, "Okay, we're
Oh,
stuck."
yeah, I usually just I'll go sit on the bed after work, especially because we started open or closing later. I just sit on the bed, and then I go to bed at, like, 9:30, 10. Sorry, I keep passing out on you.
I don't believe that you're sleeping at 9:30 or 10 because you'll text me and you'll be like, "Oh yeah, I closed today, so I was up till like 1 and then I slept until like 9." And I'm like, "Why
I
are
did
you up
that
so late?"
one day, because I stayed up till, like, 3 in the mo I closed and then I stayed up till, like, 3 in the mornings because, um, the EA was having a sale, and I didn't know I owned The Sims 3 because I used to have the disc for it, so I thought I couldn't access it without the disc, but I guess it's connected to my account, and they were having a huge sale on all the packs, and I got, like, the biggest burst of joy because when I was in middle school when The Sims 3 came out, it was the recession, and, like, I couldn't afford any of the packs, like, my family couldn't buy me things like that, um, so I got, like, the dragon pack and the fairy pack, and I literally just played The Sims 3 until 3 in the morning. I
Ugh,
was
why didn't you
having
just
so much
get a
fun.
job? Ugh, lazy.
At 13,
Yeah,
it's illegal.
not under the table, it's not.
I keep seeing those memes, and it's like millennials that they're like, my bad. I really should have, bought houses up when I was 14 when the housing market collapsed before prices went
Yeah,
up."
I've seen that, and it's like, "Oh, why didn't I think of buying a a house in 2008 when I was starting middle school? What silly things I was doing back then."
Yeah. Bit concerned with learning algebra. That was so silly.
And now look, we just Google math questions.
I do math every day actually at work. You know what's
That's
funny?
good.
Is I realized I'm much better at math than I thought. I just like,
Just not when I'm standing next to you.
oh my god, no, when people watch me do things, I can't function.
You were doing, like, a math section on Duolingo, and you were like, "Yeah, I'm doing math in here. I'm doing really well on it." And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome." And then I looked, and I was like, "Let me see." And it was like 8 plus 6, and you were like, 12, 9, 6, 5. And I was like, What's happening here?" And you're like, "I can't do it if you're watching." I'm like, "You can't do 8 plus 6 if I'm watching?"
Yeah, it's 14.
Did you just whisper it to yourself? I heard a very faint 14.
Yeah, so, like, I don't but I also don't do math like a bunch of other people. I think it's more common to do it this way now, but, like, I always really struggled, so, like, 8 plus 6, I would do, like, 8 plus 4 is 12, I know, so then I would do 12 plus 2 is 14, and that's how I have to do math in my head.
You do what? Hold on, explain that again.
So, like, if I was doing 8 plus 6, I know that 8 plus 4 is 12, and then 12 plus 2 is 14. Like, I have to break down the numbers to understand it better,
Mhm. You could
but
also
I think
do,
that's how
like
they teach it now.
you could also do if there's 2 numbers that are, like, 2 apart, you can just add 1 to it, and then you have 2 of the same number. So, like, 6 and 8, you'd be like, "Oh, they're 1 apart, so that's just 7 and 7, is 14."
Yeah, I do that sometimes too. I because the milk counts at work, I see a lot of the same numbers, so I've like, some of them, I'll do exactly that. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, it's this," you know? Um, for me, I think geometry is really the big one. Like, algebra is great. Love algebra. Geometry, oof, shapes,
Geometry. What geometry is before algebra, isn't it?
for me, it wasn't.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know the order of it, but I feel like geometry should be like it's just shapes.
For me, it was, like, when you got into, like I think the problem is when I was in, 10th grade, I did well enough in my Algebra 2 class that, my teacher recommended me to take the AP or the honors class the next year, and it was honors geometry, and that was a mistake. I should not have done that.
I
I had to
did
retake half the semester online because I failed, and
I
then I
did
passed the
well
AP.
in all my math classes up until the point where they were like, "Yeah, you should go. We're going to recommend you for AP Calculus your senior year." And I was like, "Oh, no." And same thing with Spanish. They recommended me for AP Calculus and AP Spanish and like one other AP class, and I was like, I don't want any of those." And I denied all 3 of them. And they're like, "Why? You'll get like college credits." I'm like, "I don't need a college credit in Spanish or calculus." So I was like, I'll be okay." And so like
I didn't take a language in high school.
senior year, I had the easiest senior year because like all 6 of my classes were super easy. And then like starting senior year, they were like, "Yeah, you're gonna get a regular degree." And I was like, "Sounds good." Like, whatever. And they're like, "No, no." They're like, "There's 3 levels of degrees." And I was like, "Uh-huh, I know." It was like you could get the regular degree, the honors, or like the advanced honors degree or something. And I was like, okay. And they're like, you're gonna get a regular degree, and but if you finish all your classes with A's this year, you'll be placed with the honors. And I was like, cool, I'll get honors then, right? And they were like, no, 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 like we're trying to like get to the point here. And I'm like, well, let's just get to it because I have like senior year things to not do, you know? And and so I was like, okay, so what are you saying? He's like, all you need is one more English class and you'll qualify for the advanced honors degree. And I was like, okay, how do I do that? You want me to take 7 classes in 6 hours? Like, it's not gonna work out, super well for me here, And they're like, "No, no, no, we have a program, we can give you an online English class, and you just take it in your free time." And I was like they're like, "After school, would you be wanting to do that?" And I was like, "You know what? Yeah, sure, may as well." So I went to this English class online. I think I told my parents about it, like, 2 weeks into the class, and they were like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "English class." And they're like, "Online?" I'm like, "Yeah." And it was like a full thing, right? And so I explained the whole thing to them, and they're like, "Oh, that's really cool." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." Anyway, so this English class was supposed to be, a whole year with everything, but,
Mhm.
to get, like, the credit towards the thing. No, I like, 4 weeks in, I was talking to the professor, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm just not feeling, like, super stimulated by the class. Is there anything I can do to, like, work ahead or, like, read ahead?" Because we would do, like, these giant sessions, like you did in class where everyone would read, but some people are just, like, not comprehending that letters make up words.
Yeah.
And, so I was like, it's just not stimulating me. Like especially when when I'm in class at school, I can deal with it because I don't have anywhere to be. But when I'm sitting in my, room at home, I'm like, man, I'd rather be
Yeah,
doing anything else right now.
I get that.
And so they were like, okay, well, you can work ahead then. Here's all this stuff, materials. And he gave me like a ton of stuff, like of like workbooks and like activities and like class and like essays and things to do and like books to read and whatnot, right? And I was like, awesome, thanks. So fast forward like 2 weeks later, like week like five and a half, almost week six, I give all of it back to him, right? And I was like, here you go. Hey, I finished all this stuff. Is there anything else that I can be, working on? And he's like, no, that was the material for the rest of the course. And I was like, oh, well, thanks. And he goes, do you want to just take the final exam? And I was like, yeah, sure. What do I need to do? He's like, we'll just schedule it for like a random day, and then I can he has to, like go on the camera to make sure I'm not cheating or anything. I was like, yeah, sure,
Mhm.
whatever. So I did that. So I ended up finishing this this like 12-week course in like 6.5 weeks because I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. So like the last half of my senior year didn't even do any of that English class. Like didn't show up to any of the classes, but I passed it and got an A. I'm like, hey, cool, look at
Nice.
that.
Well, I gotta start getting ready for work and eating stuff, so
What does that mean, huh? You can't take it. You just prioritizing things in the real world instead of in the real internet. I get it. It's fine.
I know our 2 listeners will be very disappointed, but I think
They're
an hour is
only
long
gonna be
enough.
disappointed in you, so it's fine.
Well, if
I'm
you made
still
it this
amazing.
far, thank you for listening to me and Jordan squabble and chat about all those little things.
Squabble, you're the one getting defensive, not me. Obviously, I'm the greatest.
Of course, naturally. That's why I'm
Mhm.
marrying you.
Yep, yep. That way,
All
hopefully,
right,
some of it can rub off
prattlers.
on you.
Have a great day and a great week. If you liked what you heard, follow us, like us, share us with your friends. If you didn't like what you hear, do the same thing. No press is bad press, right? Um, I need a
Yeah, that's what
coffee.
you're going with. Hey, good news for you. I'm pretty sure your employer will have some for you.
Good. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye. You gonna say bye, Jordan?
Bye, Jordan.